Good, good, good. So hi everyone, I think this is the third or fourth video for the demo guides. In this demo guide, we're gonna go over a job called Central Office Main Room with Review and Reject. Use cases of this workflow can extend in any company or any BPO that receives a batch of documents, whether it is front end or back office operation. They would like to digitize it, whether it is, again, whether it is physical or digital. They want to read it, classify it, extract information from it, pass it to a certain operator for error correction. After this, they pass it for a review step, whether it is head of division, supervisor, manager, or the customer, the end customer, the client of the BPO. And after this step, we will have certain features, nice features on this level to explore, which are decision making, rejection reasons, and routing these documents back to the indexing for correction of metadata or for adjusting the image with the rescan. Of course, the relationship in between could be heavily flexible. So this workflow could stop at index, and after index, we go and export. This workflow could go into index, review, and export. The reviewer will correct the bad images, or the reviewer will connect himself to index fields. Regardless, it's based on the use case. As well, very important here to highlight that we are going with the full batch. Okay, so let's say I have 15 documents in, we will reach to a certain point where we will take decision on 15 documents. If one document is wrong, the full 15 documents will be sent back, highlighting the wrong document only. Okay, so I only need to work on the wrong document. If it is needed in certain use cases or client requirement to split the batch into single documents, this is something we can do as well. We can split these into separate documents, and then the review will happen on single document level, and based on the review, a document will go or it will be saved in its end location. Okay, this is long story of the use case. Very important when we start a client meeting to highlight the use case, how and where they can use this workflow, and to fit it into their business processes. Very strong point to mention on the importance of this workflow in positioning info input as unique selling points. First and most important, the classification step. Number two, the extraction step. Number three, the flexible workflows that we can create with decision making, with the interface, with everything. Number four is the main thing where it all comes together and fitting at the customer needs. Not always, and this is very important, it's not always the best fit for BPOs, because to have the machine learning classification working in specific for BPOs, sometimes it might be more profitable for them to have an operator inserting barcodes or blank pages or patch codes. Okay, so we need to be very careful on how to position it in terms of features, functionalities, technical unique selling points, but as well commercial positioning. So scan, it could be paper or digital, that's fine. Classify, very important to highlight. Request please the extract of this configuration to have it on your demo server, because on our demo server, you don't have access to the administrator view. And for this specific workflow, it is very important to show the back end, okay, because we need to show how the classification is working and to show the front end. So from back end, we need to show them how the machine learning is working. Unique selling points for our machine learning, it needs minimal number of trained images. Okay, we drop, we train the model, and then we will get to know from the machine learning that this model will classify this image, this shape as waybill document. It will classify this shape as passport application, so on and so forth. First one. The second point, next to least number of images, is that 2 documents or 3 or 4 or 5 could be classified under the same document type. And this goes usually with the use cases of correspondences. I have many correspondences, I have, that's not a problem. We can train as much as possible, as much as our neural network within info input can comprehend and match similarity. You can add and add and add. Okay, good. Number 3, unique selling points, or not unique, I would say this one is unique somehow, is the mix between machine learning and feature base. Okay, over here, all the classification is done on visual machine learning. However, and you see one tick, if both of them are applied and the feature is applied, you can have both of them together. What is the difference between visual? Visual is the engine will learn on its own features. We can add more and more. We can tell it if you see 6 pixels on the right corner, then add it to and or. So mix it with the visual template, and this could be a correspondence coming from the UAE Ministry of Finance. If you see a shape of cedar, then this is a Lebanese passport. If you see a certain picture in that area, then this is an identity card. So zones and extraction fields and pixels and the tone in the image, these are things that we call features that we can use to add to the visual template in order to increase the accuracy of the classification. Okay, there is a specific webinar and training on the classification. More on that, you can go through it, but this is a small summary. As well, if you are running on your own server, it's nice to go into the test and everything just to show how the mathematics and algorithm do the calculation and return certain KPI on every document type. So classification, anything and everything, it goes automatic, not a problem. After scan or import digital and paper, we do classification. The extraction will happen per classification. So if I'm classifying a form, it will go to the extraction of the form for the passport or for the motor claim or whatever. And the most important thing over here is the extraction will take several engines on the same time, and you will see it. But it is very important to mention for our clients, it is taking several engines at the same time, okay? We have OCR, we have handwritten, we have OMR, QR code, whatever, even NLP. You can inject as many engines as possible at the same time to run on a single page, okay? Very important. Index review, all the unique selling points of this, all the unique features, you will see them on the front end. So enough talking about the back end, and now let's go to the demo. Good. We'll go into the view of Good directly. I had one before. I will discard it and start from the beginning. As usual, we log in. Please start log it out. So I'll log in with your username and password. It's very important for the client to see how things are running. And then as much as possible, go through these buttons, the shortcuts, change password, task filtering, the batch manager, what do they do, the languages available, these buttons over here, these inboxes and filters, what do they do, how we can use them, add as much value, and these statistics on the bottom that can be actually linked to Power BI, and we have a lot of things more in the reporting. Extremely important whenever you start a demo to explain, to familiarize your client with the interface so they are not overwhelmed. Next, we'll click over here. Again, our workflow is event with review and reject, central office mailroom. Okay, this is, I will call it new, so we're able to track it. Create. Good. The sample documents will be provided to you. Of course, this is one of the easiest one to add additional sample documents, and we have done it for multiple project and use cases across our region. We just add on the classification, we just define new document type with the extraction, and since it is open extraction, it is very easy to map it. Now, over here, I'm gonna take a pause a little bit to explain something very important that we need to do, okay, to increase the level of trust between us and the customer. First, you need to mention that this is one document, 18 pages, because it is related to the next step, which is classification, which will turn this one document into multiple documents, okay? Very important to highlight this before clicking on send to server. Very important to mention that this is the scan step, or this is the auto import step, which can happen in the front end or in the back end, okay? Most importantly, please play around. It will help us show features of info input, how it is easy to blah, 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 and as well, to break the concept of this is a pre-configured or pre-staged demo. So I usually, for example, duplicate some documents over here. I take them, put them here, just make a shuffle, like playing cards, make a shuffle, make sure even, for example, I want to delete this one, not a problem, delete, just show them how far they can go with the system. I need additional document. Let me just do one more thing. Just select these 4, duplicate, okay? I'm not gonna do anything, and this is live, and then I send it to the server, 23 pages. We send it to the server. Now it is very important to entertain our client, but as well share with them certain information. First, what we need to do is delete this one and go into the batch manager so they see the documents on the server, what is happening with them. Okay. And then we need to tell the story. So the first step was classification, which is plus or minus it ended. And now I have 17 document instead of one document with 23 pages, I have 17. Now we are on the level of extraction. It is going into every single document, doing the extraction, and now it is ready and it should be on my screen. So just going through this small chit chat explaining the workflow will kill the time and actually provide like, oh wow, that was fast. Okay. We click over here or we do refresh, it will appear the first time, which is new. We open it, and very important to explain the first and most important thing about info input. It will only take you to where you need to have attention. It skipped the first one. We are on the second one, highlighted into the index field, and we click for validation or for indexing. Okay. So another important thing, the indexing has not been done manually, automatically, but the first step is just to address any misconduct from the engine. Second important thing, to show them, to make sure that they see the different classification that are available over here, and that they still have the possibility to change the classification and to resend it for indexing. Very important. Number 3, info input will skip and will take you to the most important steps only. Okay. And whenever we do this, it's very important to highlight the importance of dropping down the number of minutes and seconds that an operator will spend on this batch. So it's a 23 document batch. If I click enter, it's done. Plus or minus, if I'm fast, I finish it in 5 seconds. For a BPO, for any company, that's very important, especially that the number of index fields is very rich. So very important to highlight this point. Another and most important, just take them through the different document types, show them the different layer of index field and how the indexing form changes from one to another. Okay. Another or the last thing I want to highlight on the level of extraction, and I'm sure I'll be missing a lot of other stuff, is this document that has, for example, reading barcode, OMR, checking whether it's a package or not, ICR, not a normal OCR, all these engines running together. And over here, just another thing, if you want, you can play around with the AI and show them how it is easy to actually read a certain handwritten with AI or OCR, it doesn't matter. But for the sake of this demo, we already configured it over here. And right now we send it to the server. Pause. You can end, once you send to the server, you can tell them that it will go to review step. Or you can enrich it a little bit. Enrich it how? Just browse. Please browse, make sure that, for example, you can do this, you can add a page, you can delete a page, you can from here go over all these buttons, right click on a document, explain every single option, what it can bring them, the annotation, the redaction, the thing that I love the most, all these things will bring more value to the end customer, to show them and as well to us, to show how much value we can bring inside info input on the server. Okay, and this is again another point when we go into tenders, every single button you see on top is something that when we position, it will create a lock for the tenders. Okay, not to be long, I will send it for the server, and this would be one of the longest workflows explanation that we go through. So once we send, I will open as well the batch manager. It is processing as indexing, meaning it is going through everything, and now it is on the review step. Okay. Again, we click over here, you can see it is on the review step. This could be another user. We are, for the sake of the demo, we are enabling all the users to see all the steps. So right now, I'm a different user. I'm actually Elias, checking the documents that George has submitted. Of course, when we click over here, you can see verify, okay. How do I take a decision? Right click. You can take a decision on level of a document or on the level of a page. Doesn't matter, all right? The decision are mapped. Rejected document, invalid OCR, it will go for indexing. Missing document, wrong page, blah, blah, blah. And this list could go long, okay? All these things could be on the level of document or page. This, for the sake of the demo, this one will send it to be checked on the level of metadata. The other will be sent for checking on the scan. So they'll have to rescan. For the purpose of the demo, I will start by sending to rescan. Okay, I will mention over here, please rescan. Good. Okay. Send to server. Yes. Good. And now the scanning operator will wait a little bit and he will see the document in his pocket again. Okay, refresh, and you can see it at the rescan level. We open it. I'm the rescanning operator. I look into it. Someone requests for me for rescan. You can directly edit and do a rescan. If you want to upload, it will tell you no. I need to address the rejection. So over here on reject document, it is rescanned. Okay, done. Please review. All right. And then we send to the server. Yes. Keep in mind, everything in the flow of the process could be adjusted. So we can set it up to go from rescan to review, or from rescan to export, or from rescan to index. Okay. And the workflow that we are showing, it goes from review, from rescan to review directly. It doesn't go to index again. So just back to the reviewer will open. You will see the green tick over here. Keep in mind, the history, all the history will be available in info input, okay? And we can as well export it as index fields. So this is, again, something very important to highlight. First, the visual connectivity and how easy it is to understand. The comments that we leave are directly available on the screen, okay? And the history is available. The same document, I'm gonna reject again for wrong index fields. Now it will send to a different step, which is the indexing. And if we look back into our process, it went into review. I sent it to rescan, it sent it back to me. And now it is back in review. I reject it for metadata. It will send back over here. This is just to play around and to show all the different things. Okay, you can just make one drive and it will be okay. So on the level of the indexing, I will again index corrected, all good, all good. Sorry for the mistake. Good, 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 and send. All these as well for a VPO could be locked as KPI, send, yes, good. And now we can see more and more on the server. We'll just give it a little bit of time and it will appear for us. Good. Keep in mind, everything we have done was almost fully automated. From the classification to the extraction, the only thing we are going through is the review. Review full good history. Please take them through, make sure you do as I did. You can, of course, reject 6, 7 documents, or even one page inside one document. I'm not going to go through all the different simulation and scenarios, but please take them through as much as possible into the different possibilities, and keep one document to have several entries in the history. This is a very important thing that is available on info input. Now, as a reviewer, I'm done from making the life of my team as a hell. I just update everything on the server, and we open the batch manager, and we see how everything is going into export, and then it will be saved. We have configured it into SharePoint, and then it is done. So all of this will happen automatically step by step up until it is ready, and it will upload everything to SharePoint. Thank you for listening. It was a long one. I'll try to add on the video certain chapters, and hopefully we will entertain you with another demo scenario that you can take it to your customers. This one is Event Central Office with reject and review. Thank you all.